A lot of people ask me to talk about this next one, and it's a super sensitive subject, man. Like, I understand you want me to comment on it. I know I kind of covered it loosely in the past. Rihanna tweeting about it actually enlightened me to the level of sensitivity around it. I'm talking about the current protests in India, farmer protests. People dispute. There's a dispute if they're even farmers. I am not involved in a dispute. You know how they say an individual close to the matter? I am not an individual close to the matter. I'm an outsider looking in, and I've had people contact me on either side of the spectrum. There is this political change taking place, a policy change that has been proposed, which it's become a right-wing, left-wing kind of conversation. So the policy change being proposed is an opening up of the marketplace for agriculture, for farming in India. This would mean that it would be a more free market type of environment for selling your goods if you are a farmer. Now, the current system in place is much different than that, where you actually have guarantees, where the government essentially guarantees a certain price for your crops, for your yield, which for some people gives a greater sense of security. Now, this is not, many nations have different types of agreements with their farmers that are similar to that. And then other nations have a more free and open scenario where you as a farmer sell to the open market and potentially are able to have more buyers, or potentially are able to earn more, or potentially are able to earn less. It's hard to know because the application here hasn't happened at scale, particularly amongst these particular communities. But when you have a protest, you obviously have a disagreement. And so that disagreement has polarized the communities there. On one side of the spectrum, you have the right wing of the area suggesting that this will be better for business, that farmers can earn more money by increasing their potential customers and having a more sort of fluid marketplace. Then the protesters, and I presume the left wing point of view, is that it's not going to get better. And what's going to happen here is that mega corporations, you know, guys like the Reliance guy who's now gotten involved in supermarkets and food, and even potentially foreign players who are interested, although that seems to be a sensitive subject for Modi and their particular political stance in general. So the farmers are concerned that these big players who can push mega money around could outperform them, compete better, and therefore wedge them out of the process, and through eliminating their guarantee that they won't be able to be as efficient or competitive because they don't have the scale. So this is essentially the argument that's going on. Now, the development that took place here, Rihanna decided to tweet about it.
She stepped in.
And so did Greta Thunberg. You know, famous Greta, environmental Greta.
How dare you?
How dare you, Greta? They both tweeted, and then, my God, they had unleashed upon them those with the alternative political viewpoint coming after them on Twitter in a pretty heavy way. So you can see a tweet here from a prominent Indian individual. I say prominent, you see the check mark. Rihanna simply posted, "Why aren't we talking about this? Hashtag farmers protest." That was the tweet with a link to the CNN article. Here's the reply. "No one is talking about it because they are not farmers. They are terrorists who are trying to divide India so that China can take over our vulnerable, broken nation and make it a Chinese colony, much like USA. Sit down, you fool. We are not selling our nation like you dummies." Oh my God. I read that and I was like, wow, heavy, weirdly heavy for social media. Like, I don't know. It's the first part of it is kind of one thing, but then the sit down, you fool part of it gets really personal and attacking. And I actually think Twitter threatened this user because I clicked on her account and it appears that she was tweeting really recently about potentially being frozen or suspended. She has 3 million followers. I think I don't know if she's an actress or, I mean, this is something we should probably know. Here we go. China Puppet Twitter is threatening to suspend my account, even though I did not violate any rules. So her suggestion here is just like Chinese TikTok, you will be banned as well. So her position here against Twitter as well, very patriotic, again, right-wing supportive viewpoint. But this happens, I just want to say, this is every nation, right? This is every nation, alternative viewpoints and the struggle in the middle of finding a compromise and something that works for all parties. And oftentimes, you know, things with the aggravation and the anger, and certainly if there's violence and things like this, it can create even more distance and even greater gap between the two groups who ultimately do need to figure out a way to work together in the end. It can put a huge delay on it, and it can apply so much more severity to something. I mean, this is how pain works. You know, you get slapped in the face, all of a sudden you slap him back. You know, I see my two kids scuffling, and when one escalates the situation, the other one escalates the situation. And it, at a certain point, you can't even remember who was right and wrong because there's all this blood's been spilled. So I would just say, because people ask me to speak on a topic, is I hope compromise can be found. Not that it goes strictly and harshly one way or strictly and harshly the other. And I think that's just kind of my point of view in general when it comes to politics. There's a reason, no matter where you go, there's these alternate viewpoints. It can be a good thing to have people that disagree with you, Will. It can be a good thing, even if you have a right-wing perspective, every so often to have a left-wing leader. Or if you have a left-wing perspective, to every so often have a right-wing leader. It creates balance. That sometimes these agendas take precedent, and then other times those. And sometimes it's the economy, and then other times it's that. And if you adopt that mindset, if you're willing to give it a shot, and if more people are willing to give it a shot, then presumably there would be more overlap and a greater ability to at least imagine the alternative point of view. To say, oh, this might be how that person is looking at it. This might be a little bit of column A and B. Because you know this in life, Will. The longer you live, it's often in the gray zone. It's often a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It's very rarely black and white.
Yes.